Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the first episode of a brand new series. Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 is here, and we're going to put a lot of things right with this. We're doing a modern day 2020 WWE, NXT and NXT UK save. So there's 3 players in the game, all me. I'm very selfish, I know, but we're gonna really put some things right and go forward of how I would book it. One caveat straight away, I'm going to say this now. The fans are in attendance. The global pandemic hasn't happened, isn't going to happen. I know that sounds really weird, but it's really hard to fantasy book when you're working around of who would be there, who wouldn't be there. I'm just going to crack on the night after WrestleMania, and we're going to go as normal, I guess, if there is even such a thing. I should mention I've also changed the events so that now all pay-per-views are the final week of the month. I know this sounds really weird, but it just gives us a better booking stability. We've got 4 weeks of TV, then a pay-per-view. 4 weeks of TV, then a pay-per-view. If you guys don't like this, I can change it back. It can be done quite easily. Let me know in the comments, I guess. But I think it makes it a little bit easier for everyone. So we'll see what happens. We're going to do the first week of TV. Now, each episode is going to be different from the 2007 save in the sense that it is just a week. Week and week and week and week. But I've added some nice new graphics in. Hopefully they'll keep you interested. And we're going to go through. So we've got Raw, main event, NXT UK, and then Smackdown. So that's still 5 shows you're getting. So it just gives me a chance to really go into a bit more detail on the actual weekly shows rather than trying to get through a month's worth of TV in one episode. It also means things are shorter, maybe a bit more enjoyable. We'll see. We'll find out. We're going to start, though, by having a look at Monday Night Raw. I'm going to introduce you to the stars and their own popularities as we go along. I think that's probably the best way to do it, or else we could be here all day. So we'll start with Raw. Okay, we are here at the first Monday Night Raw of the series. We've had a couple of teething problems. Took me a while to get things going. People on the database not quite right. We'll go through it and we'll discuss it as we go along. But we hopefully have a big show. Now remember, this is the Raw after WrestleMania. This is Drew McIntyre's WWE champion. He's just won it off Brock. And he opens the show with a promo. How do I press start? Oh, it's that one. Start show. He opens the show with a promo. 39 for this. Ooh, okay. Lack of anything interesting happening. Okay, let me explain it. Maybe I haven't booked it correctly in terms of the game. I'll get there. I'll learn it. Of course, we're starting with the actual database's own thing, so we're going to have to build people up. It's fine. We start there with Drew with the championship over his shoulder, welcoming fans back. Of course, we aren't going to say that fans were at WrestleMania or anything like that. We're going to say, like, there was a blip. We're moving on from it. See you later. We're not going to discuss it. But fans are back. Fans are back. And a welcome back. And hello, WWE Championship. I downed the Beast. I downed Brock Lesnar last night. Now we're onto a new world. Something new. I don't know what's going to happen. And then he gets interrupted by Kevin Owens. Babyface Kevin Owens, remember. But Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens says, look, Drew, well done last night. Great win over Brock Lesnar. You are now the champion, a full-time WWE champion on the brand. It's what we've been waiting for a long time. But let me just stop you 1 second, because last night, I defeated the last full-time world champion on this brand, Seth Rollins. I think that makes me next in line, don't you, Drew? And Drew says, look, if you want a shot, KO, you can have a shot anytime you like. Want it tonight? We'll do it tonight. Main event. How does that sound, everybody? Fans go wild. And the match is made. Oh, look at that fancy graphic. That's, oh, yeah, you're welcome for that one. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, WWE Championship on the line in the main event tonight. Huge. We have our first match of the series for 51. Okay, slightly underperformed, I guess, over everything else. I'll have a look what brought it down. It was a 6-man tag match with, we're going to call them Zillion's family for now. I'm not sure entirely on that name. Please drop me comments if you have any suggestions. But Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory against Rey Mysterio, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet. Three high-flying baby faces against 3 pretty good heels. So I was hoping for a good little match. 51, it's slightly lower than I'd expect. Angel Garza getting the pinfall though, and it's going to prove to be important. Angel Garza getting the pin over Cedric Alexander in about 14 minutes. So I know a lot of you are like, well, what about the United States champion? Shouldn't he be getting the pin? Yes, we'll get to it. Ricochet, though, was the best performer, 68. That's really good. Andrade, 59, is not great. Angel Garza, 54. Austin Theory, 54. Ray, though, 63. You kind of expect better from him. We'll have a look at the booking details, the dirt sheet. And we've got lots of bonuses, so that's really good. But what's brought it down? I'm just getting used to the game, really. Penalised for holding back. Low locker room morale, that's harsh. I've just started. Declining physical ability on Ray's a bit harsh as well. Low locker room morale is a lot of it. Austin Theory inexperienced, fine. Lack of associated storyline. Again, we're just starting, so I think that's a bit harsh, but 51, we'll take it, we'll move on. 6-man tag, Angel Garza getting a victory. AJ Styles, though, is backstage. Now, of course, last night's 71 rated promo, this is pretty good. Jason Jordan could have done better as a road agent. Last night at WrestleMania, he lost in the Boneyard match. Yes, the Boneyard match. And we're not ignoring it. AJ will recognise it and say, look, Taker, we went to war. I respect you. But now, my career must go on. My career must go on. You've dealt with Gallows. You've dealt with Anderson. I haven't seen them. I don't know if they'll be back. They won't, obviously. My career must go on. My career can only look one way. My career is looking ahead to the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, I don't know who's choosing the qualifying matches, but you're damn sure the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, better be in it. 71 for a good promo. Good promo, that. He then defeated Humberto Carrillo in about 20 minutes for 65. AJ really carrying this one despite seemingly a bit off his game. Humberto Carrillo, 45. I would expect his push is about that. So, yeah, that's fine. Got a bonus from the good agent work from Tyson Kidd. I thought he'd do well with these two, and he did. Disinterested crowd, though. 65. It is what it is, but we can... I think that's not bad. That's pretty good. And then after the match, it's announced that next week on Raw, AJ Styles will be in a qualifying matchup. Yes, you're welcome for that fancy graphic as well. We'll have a lot more of these. We're going to try and hype up next week as much as we can each week. I think that's a good way to book. And AJ Styles will be taking on Rey Mysterio. And the winner will go to Money in the Bank. Dream match. In my mind... If I knew AJ versus Rey Mysterio was happening next week with something on the line as well, I'd want to tune in. And that's the idea of what we're going for here. If we're booking, particularly as episodes are just going to be week by week, next week you're getting AJ versus Rey Mysterio and more. There's more on its way. But 68 for the actual announcement, by the way, so that's pretty good. Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, 52 for this. This is pretty good. Natalya qualifies for the matchup, an experienced hand. It's good to have her in the match, I think. She defeats Ruby Riott in about 15 minutes, so that's fine. Natalya in ring performance of 59, really good. And Ruby Riott 39. Like I said, we have to build a lot of people up, and that's the way it is. We need to build the whole roster, really. But dirt sheet wise, it wasn't that bad. 52 for that is pretty good. Pretty good. So Natalya is in Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch is backstage, a 56 rated segment, so this isn't great, but Becky Lynch is backstage with a championship. She says, look, last night I defeated an MMA monster. Where does the man go from here? I've held this title longer than seemingly anyone has. And then she's interrupted by Nia Jax. Nia Jax says, look, you may be the champion, but I'm back now. I'm here. And I think if you remember, one of the last times we were in the ring together, I broke your face. I made you miss out on Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. I caused a lot of tears in all those documentaries. And if you remember, none of this stardom that you've got, the man gimmick, this WrestleMania main event, this WWE 2K cover story, none of it would have happened if it weren't for me. So, maybe I should put an end to this little fairy tale. Niall walks off. Becky's like, doesn't say anything. Segment ends there. We're building it. We're teasing these two. It was Nia versus Liv Morgan in about 8 minutes. 39 for this. okay, not too bad. Nia Jax 44, Liv Morgan 39. Liv's a good baby face for us to have on the roster at this point. But Nia is dominant, is the idea. She's everything Liv's trying to try and escape the size of Nia Jax just isn't working. Nia constantly beating her down. And after about 8 minutes, finally just puts her out of misery, puts her away. Liv, it's not a squash by any means. Liv really gives the babyface fire. But Nia's just way too much. And that's a 39 rated segment. Fine. Afterwards, Nia does not stop. Continues to pummel Liv Morgan. The fans are booing. You got the announce team who are like, look, this is too much. This is too far. And then Becky Lynch's music hit. Out comes the WWE Raw Women's Champion to make the save and to fight off Nia Jax, so to speak. There's not going to be no physicality. We'll go with that between the two. Becky runs down, and as she slides in the ring, Nia leaves around the back. We'll tease it, but we're not there yet. And so she saves Liv Morgan from an attack for 48. Pretty good. Another graphic here, and we can see that next week in the second Money in the Bank qualifying match next week, Aleister Black will be taking on Angel Garza. That's why Garza got the win in the 6-man tag earlier, puts him over, says this is why he should be in the qualifying match. So we've got AJ versus Ray, Aleister Black versus Angel Garza. There will be one more men's Money in the Bank qualifying match next week, but this is two matches that really could be good. Aleister Black then defeats Shelton Benjamin for 52, so this is pretty good. Aleister Black 58, Shelton Benjamin 48. They didn't click, interestingly, but despite that, it's still quite good. The point of announcing the Money in the Bank qualifying match next week before Black has his match this time is that the announcers can really drive it home during this match. This match, not taken away from the match by any stretch, but it's a little bit of an advert. Like, Aleister Black is dominant here, but will he be dominant next week against Angel Garza? It's all on the line, a Money in the Bank qualifier. You get the drift. That's the idea here. Another thing to note is Shelton Benjamin here. Shelton, obviously the heel, is an experienced heel. And that's what the announcers will really drive in. Constantly. Shelton, the idea that Shelton he's not past his prime, because that's harsh, but he's not up to the ability that he seemingly was. He's better than this. That's what we're driving home in this, and there's reasons, and they'll become very clear pretty soon. But 52 is pretty good. Dirt sheet wise, what do we lose it on? Again, low mark. This thing will change as we go along. But Aleister Black's got a legendary gimmick, so that's really good, and a cult crowd. 52, okay. Afterwards, a backstage segment again for 52, and Seth Rollins is there with Buddy Murphy, with Akam. The disciples, as we're calling them, and he says to Shelton, man, I looked up to you growing up. I'm making my way in this business. You, Charlie Haas, Team Angle, the world's greatest tag team, whatever you wanted to call yourself. Right now, you're the world's greatest joke. You are better than this. And the disciples walk away. Where's that going to lead? Well, we'll see. 52, pretty good. Another graphic here, and hello to this one. And final Raw Money in the Bank qualifying men's match. So there's 3 from Raw, going to be 3 from Smackdown, and next week we're going to have all 3 decided. So first of all, it was AJ versus Rey Mysterio, then Aleister Black versus Angel Garza, and now Randy Orton will take on Ricochet. 2 pretty big stars on the Raw brand will go at it. Either man, in theory, could win that one. 68 for the actual segment, so that's pretty good. I'm excited for that match next week. It's going to be really good, hopefully. Kevin Owens cuts a backstage promo hyping up the championship match with Drew McIntyre tonight for 60. Shayna Baszler qualifies for the women's Money in the Bank as she defeats Bianca Belair for 52. So again, pretty good considering the stats on people. Shayna 55, Bianca Belair 54, still on a similar position. And again, I'm guessing it's the same things we've been knocked down on, but that's fine. 52, it is what it is. Two women. The idea of doing this one is particularly being a Money in the Bank qualifier. These two, either one in theory could win if Bianca's going to get a push after coming up to Raw, or with Shayna. Are we going to do something with Shayna after they're seemingly dropping the ball over and over and over again? We'll find out as Shayna qualifies for the Money in the Bank. So that's Shayna and Natalya in on the Raw side. We then one more graphic, and there's another Money in the Bank qualifying match next week. That's 4 in total, but this one's for the women's, and it's the final Raw spot. and it's former tag team champions going at it. Asuka will take on her partner, Kairi Sane. Both baby faces now. It's going to be really interesting to see if they can stay on the same page with a Money in the Bank qualifying match and a Money in the Bank spot on the line. Tag team action for 50 then, and the Street Profits, the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, defeat Buddy Murphy and Akam in 16 minutes and 20. Montez Ford pinning Murphy. Got to protect Akam being the muscle. Of course, there's no Rezar, who's injured at the moment. Andrew Dawkins 56 and Montez Ford 57, pretty good. Akam 39 is a bit low to me, but it is what it is. Murphy 54 as well, pretty good. It's pretty good here. I feel like it probably should have been better, but Akam's brought it down a bit, you would say. Street Profits have great chemistry when teaming together, which is really good. After the match though, a big angle. Street Profits are celebrating when they get attacked from behind by Murphy, by Akam. Rollins comes out to ringside, and Rollins just looks at the aisle, and points at the ring. He just points, and out comes the newest disciple, Shelton Benjamin, 36. Okay, that's caused a problem. Lack of anything interesting. I think it's the way I'm booking it, because this is meant to be a big angle, so I apologise for booking that wrong. But Shelton comes down, and a 3-on-2. Seth doesn't even get involved. He just watches as the tag team champions get destroyed, and Shelton Benjamin takes his place in the stable. And the reason for this is with Rezar out as well. If I looked at the disciples, we're going to call them disciples. So you've got Seth as your big main event star. You've got Murphy, who's obviously got something about him. It could be something in the future. Then you've got Akam and Rezar as a tag team. And I get that, but with no Rezar, you've got Akam just sort of sat there. Buddy Murphy not doing a lot at the moment. And I felt it could do with somebody in the stable. This is going to sound really bad, but somebody who could lose. So in the whole stable, Seth Rollins, you shouldn't really lose much. His losses need to matter. Buddy Murphy, you need to protect him if you're going to push him to the next level. The same with a tag team. Shelton's there to take a pin now and again. Shelton loses nothing with a couple of losses, does he? Just being in the stable will help him massively. And I don't know, maybe. Well, 36, it's a bad segment. That's my fault. But in my head, and hopefully how I've described it, it sounds better to you. Bobby Lashley is backstage. Again, lack of anything. This is me. I've booked it wrong, but that's on me. I'm getting used to the game, guys. I'm getting used to the game. It's fine. Bobby Lashley is backstage, complaining now with all 3 Raw Money in the Bank qualifying matches announced. It means there's no place for the Almighty One. What? What the hell is that about? He's furious, and he attacks the nearest thing he can find, which just turns out to be Rey Mysterio. Now, Rey's in action next week in one of those Money in the Bank qualifying matches as well. So Lashley, once he realises who it is, doesn't stop, continues to batter him, puts him through a table, leaves Rey Mysterio down and hurt. And Bobby Lashley, well, he's not happy at being in a Money in the Bank match, and Rey Mysterio could have a problem going into AJ Styles next week. I'm pretty sure the next segment is your main event of the evening, which of course, if I can remind you with this stunning graphic, is Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. A big match, a big title match on the Raw after WrestleMania. Will Drew walk out with the title? He will. 44. Whoa. This is going to be difficult if it's done like this. It's a draw. Look, Raws after WrestleMania are very good at, we're going to do this massive match. Oh, wait, it's getting cut. That's the idea I've gone for. I know it sounds horrible, but you don't want to give away a big finish between these two, and it just sort of furthers along a storyline. So Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre are having a barnstormer in theory. Ignore the segment. They're having a barnstormer in theory when Seth Rollins comes down and gets himself involved. A stomp to Kevin Owens, a stomp to Drew McIntyre. It'll be a no contest in theory, but Rollins and the disciples are here and are just destroying Drew, destroying Kevin Owens. We'll get to the angle in a minute, see how that does. I'm intrigued as to what's really brought us down. Odd face v face, to be fair, I get that. Low heat, dead crowd, I mean, all right, whatever. The actual segment itself, 34. Again, lack of anything. That's me. That's on me. But the disciples, including the newest one, Shelton Benjamin, destroy Kevin Owens and destroy the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you can see where this is going. We'll see if it goes where you think it does. Drop it in the comments if you have an idea of where I'm going. But that's Monday Night Raw. Probably a disappointing show, to be honest. 46th, not great. That's on me, though, because there was some big angles in this that if I'd have booked it correctly would have been better. Hasn't quite worked out how I expected it to. So that's a problem. But we've got some big matches scheduled for next week. We'll run through it all at the end of the episode of what's coming next week. But some big matches set up, and that's what I wanted to do. Match to match to match to match. And now the Raw brand looks ready to go 3 weeks out of Money in the Bank. So, yeah, we're going to move on. I think it's main event next. So we'll run through main event a little bit quicker because I haven't really planned main event. I'll just get some guys involved, a couple of wins. It's a C show. Let's get on with it. And then we'll move on to NXT. Okay, then here we go. Main event. We'll try and blitz through this a little bit quicker. So the opening match is Apollo Crews against Buddy Murphy. Murphy getting the win here. Like we said, he's someone that needs to be built up a bit, needs to get wins. So 54 and 53 apiece. Murphy off his game a little bit, but still a 54 rated match, which for main event, you know what? Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Randy Orton cut a promo on Ricochet. It sort of would be a backstage promo. I'm going to use main event as well to really hype up other feuds, using promos, etc. Orton says, next week I will take my place in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I've won one. Yes, he has won one. I think about it. And look what happened there. I had a brilliant title run. I'm going to do it again. I am going to do it again. And anybody who stands in my way, you little pipsqueak, flipping. Who the hell do you think you are, Ricochet, coming here, trying to get in your style? Well, I will show you what professional wrestling is about next week on Raw. 68 for the promo. Pretty good. Viking Raiders defeated Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink in about 8 minutes. 48 for this. Okay, that's fine. MVP was the ring. MVP was at ringside. Okay. Anyway, good win for the Viking Raiders. 56 apiece. Pretty good stuff. 48. We'll move on. Drew McIntyre went off on a rant about Seth Rollins, saying how dare he get involved in my business. He lost at WrestleMania. He's lost the plot. Some Jesus wannabe wants to get involved in my business. He wants a fight. Well, fighting is what I'm good at. So Seth, if you want to fight, I will see you Monday at Raw. 63. So Drew McIntyre will be hunting for Seth Rollins at 63. Pretty good. Main event match, so to speak, is the Kabuki Warriors versus the Iconics, and Oscar gets the victory with the Oscar lock going into next week. It's obviously going to be Oscar versus Kairi Sane. 59 for this, so that's pretty good, actually. Pretty good. This has gone well, main event, surprisingly. It's gone about how you'd expect. Raw should be better with the angles, I get it, but it's fine. This is pretty good. And then 61, we see post-show video from Raw, which shows Rey Mysterio getting seen to and getting carted off in an ambulance, his arm in a brace. Bobby Lashley seemed to have done some damage to Rey Mysterio. Really hype it up. Is Rey going to be fit for next week when, of course, he faces AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw? So that's good. A pretty good main event. I'm pretty happy with it. 61, again, not bad. I think that's probably better than Raw. We'll have a look. We'll take a look, but I would guess that's probably better than Raw. Dear God, that's pretty bad, really, isn't it? So Raw got us 46. Yeah, it's definitely better than Raw. It was the angles that really brought it down, though, wasn't it? I mean, my bad on that one. Okay, then NXT, the first one back, and we open up straight away with William Regal in the office. A quick minute, it's all it's going to be. And he says, look, the fans are back. Wrestling is back right here at Full Sail. I don't know what that's about. We need to change that. They need to be at Full Sail full time, really. And tonight we restart again. Fresh slate. We go again, but we need a number one contender for the NXT Championship. So let's go big. Let's start big. Triple threat main event. Velveteen Dream, Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor. The winner gets a shot at Adam Cole. 60. Pretty good. First match of the night sees Tegan Nox defeat Alia in about 8 minutes. 36 rated. Okay, not bad. Serena Deeb could have done better, apparently. I don't think road agents are good on this match. I need a little bit of tinkering. But Tegan 43, Alia 32. It's pretty good. I can't really complain too much about it. Booking wise, inconsistency, etc. But still, no, that's fine. Pretty good. 36. Afterwards, Tegan's attacked by Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai to continue that segment, continue that storyline. That's a real life storyline. We're going to continue it and build to a big match between Tegan and Dakota. 27, pretty good. 64 then for this. So the Broserweights are your tag team champions on this, of course. And that's what it would have been right after WrestleMania. So that's what we're going to go with. And Matt Riddle has invited Pete Dunne to an apartment block in Florida and says, listen, Pete, as we are NXT Tag Team Champions, I thought it was only right. NXT is filmed and is live every week from Full Sail University right here in Florida. The Performance Center is right here in Florida. I figured Tag Team Champions, what about roommates as well? And hands out the key. It's a goofy comedy that these two have perfected actually in their role so far. They do really well with it. Pete's going to be stone-faced and be like, right, okay, and takes the key anyway. Because of course he does. 64 though. That's really good, really good. Grizzled young veterans were in action just next in tag team match, about 7 minutes. Defeating Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. Good win for the heel tag team. Zach Gibson, brilliant from Zach Gibson, 49. Pretty good stuff from that. After the match, they challenge the Broserweights. They say, stupid tag team champions, we want to bring sort of clarity back to the tag team division. We want to bring seriousness. We want to make the tag team division exactly what it should be. And Grizzled Young Veterans are challenging for a tag team championship match. Next up, 53 for this. You'd probably think it would be better, but Charlotte Flair, the NXT champion, is here and defeats Mia Yim in about 13 minutes. Good long match between these two. 65-50. Okay, pretty good stuff. Two of the upper echelons of the NXT Tag Team Women's Division. Charlotte Flair will use her while we can. Who says she'll stay here very long? We'll see. 53 though, pretty good stuff. Afterwards, that's meant to be Charlotte. That's not a good start, is it? That is not a good start. I'm getting used to the game. Blame me. Charlotte comes down to the ring, which has been set for a celebration, and she wants to show off her new championship. Rhea Ripley comes out. They end up fighting. You get the point. We're moving on. Velveteen Dream does an interview on the NXT champion and says when he wins tonight and when he defeats Tommaso Ciampa or Finn Balor, Adam Cole, he is coming for you and Velveteen Dream. NXT will have the full Velveteen experience when he is champion. 62, pretty good. Off script as well. So Velveteen Dream did very good. Decent match here, 47. Damian Priest defeated Dominik Dijakovic. But the story behind it is a distraction from Scarlett Bordeaux. So a good hard-hitting match between the two of them is the idea. And Dominik Dijakovic looks like he has it in hand when Scarlett Bordeaux makes her entrance. Dominic's a bit confused. What the hell is going on? And Damian Priest takes advantage to hit the South of Heaven and win the match by pinfall. 47, pretty good. Afterwards, 29 for Scarlett saying, Dominik, I've got to tell you, mate, I've got a new client and he's got his eyes on you. He will be here very, very soon. 29, good. Finn Balor struggled going off script with a 61 rated promo on Tommaso Ciampa. He says, I hope that little pipsqueak doesn't get in my way tonight when I need to get on my boat towards NXT Championship Gold. 61. I don't know where the boat bit came from. 61 as well for this. This is good. Decent match. Johnny Gargano defeats Isaiah Swerve Scott in about 14 minutes. A good win for heel Johnny. He was a little bit off his game, but still very good. Had Candice LeRae with him as well. And after the match, he cuts a scathing promo on the mic. He says, I remember NXT when it was at its very best, when I was stealing the show, when Tommaso Ciampa was stealing the show, or I was carrying him to it, let's be honest. But you had the Revival, you had Aleister Black, you had Andrade, you had the best of the best. Now what the hell is NXT? What is this? And it's an absolute joke. It's a mistake. And I am here to rid these NXT fakers out of this brand. And you know what? I'm going to start my quest with Keith Lee. North American champion, you are put on notice. 56, good promo. Tommaso Ciampa then cuts a promo on Finn Balor for 68, so that's really good. To hype the main event. which I'll just check what is my rundown. We're not quite there yet. There is another segment as we see Adam Cole for 66 cutting a promo on Velveteen Dream. I've done it as that, but in theory it would be Adam Cole saying, I'm watching tonight, I don't care who it is, whether it's that Velveteen Freak, Finn, has been Balor, or Tommaso Ciampa, who, let's be honest, we've been there, we've done that. Ciampa, give up, mate. Adam Cole says he will take on anyone, but he's watching very, very closely. The main event then, Tommaso Ciampa, Velveteen Dream, Finn Balor, big NXT match, and we get a 67, so pretty good. The highest it is in terms of Balor 67, Tommaso Ciampa 66, Velveteen Dream 55. That's a really pretty good match. Good stuff all round. And Velveteen Dream pins Tommaso Ciampa to become number one contender. So the way I see it, Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor are fighting in the ring. Dream on the outside. Ciampa clotheslines Balor to the outside. As Dream enters the ring, Dream hits the power line or whatever his finisher is, and pins Tommaso Ciampa. Balor gets up at one, the count of like the pinfall one, but can't stop it in time. Balor looks good. Balor has a reason to blame Ciampa, which we're going to go forward with that. And Velveteen Dream now is set as the number one contender for NXT. So the big main event helped us, and a 62 rated show is really pretty good. Some of the stuff brings it down, which you'd expect in terms of popularity. The likes of even Dominic Dijakovic hasn't really got good pop. I think it's 17. So to get the 47 was really good from Damian Priest, really. But we've had some big matches here. Gargano and Scott were really good. The triple threat was brilliant as well. Grizzled Young Veterans did well for a 40 there. Charlotte and Mia, pretty good. Good match. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm happy. Okay, we're on to Smackdown. I thought NXT UK would be next. I'm going to have a look and see what's going on there, whether because of the database maybe the shows weren't. I don't know. I'm going to have a look. It's meant to be NXT UK, but this week it's a bit different. We'll move straight on to Smackdown Live, and we open up with the Universal Champion in action as he destroys Mojo Rawley, because screw Mojo Rawley. A proper squash here. 69 from Braun. 44 altogether, so it was brought down a little bit actually, which I assume... Low locker room morale's high. Odd face versus heel. Is Mojo a face? No, Mojo's a heel. What is going on here? Anyway, we'll move on. 44. Braun, though, has challengers. 50 rated segment. Lack of anything interesting happening. What do you want me to do? You don't have... I need to create angles, I think, in the actual game. The game apparently doesn't have an angle where people challenge a champion. Yeah, apparently. Basically, Braun is... Yeah, I mean, he hasn't broken a sweat against Mojo. He's celebrating with the title. He's posing. And Roman Reigns comes out and says, well done on your win. Well done. But we both know that me and you have got a history. Me and you have had battles and wars across the country, across the arenas, ambulance matches, a lot. Now you're at the top of the mountain, Braun. Why don't we do it again? One more with the title on the line. Braun looks ready to go, but Shinsuke Nakamura makes his entrance and says, whoa, hold on. Let's think about this. The last time Braun lost a match, by the way, it was to one of the Artist Collective. The next time Braun loses a match will be to one of the Artist Collectives, because Shinsuke Nakamura will bring strong style and will win the Universal Championship. It leads to the booking of a match for next week. Number one contendership is on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura will take on Roman Reigns, and the winner will be number one contender for the Universal Championship. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. Will it be Reigns? Will it be Shinsuke? Money in the Bank qualifier here. Sheamus defeats Mustafa Ali to qualify for the Money in the Bank match. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Sheamus, really? Look, 59 performance is good. 54 from Mustafa Ali was pretty good as well, which meant a 59 rating match, which I'm pretty happy with. And Sheamus adds a bit of experience to the Money in the Bank match, so it's good. It's good. Otis and Mandy Rose are entering the building, hand in hand, side by side, when they're attacked from behind by Dolph and Sonya Deville. So, yeah, we continue in the feud. 43, pretty good. Sasha Banks qualifies for the Money in the Bank. She defeats Lacey Evans. These two, I think, can have a decent match. Sasha will bring her through it. It's 49, so it was pretty good. Why am I the road agent? I don't know. I need to really concentrate on road agents, which is a newer thing in this game. It's really important, so I do need to concentrate on that. But Sasha, 63, Lacey, 40. Again, pretty good. 50 rated match, more or less, so pretty good. And Sasha qualifies for the Money in the Bank match. She wasn't in it in real life, remember? She's in it now. So that's Sasha, Natalya, and Shayna all qualified for the Money in the Bank women's matchups. Pretty good. Bayley was on commentary for the match, and as she is celebrating Sasha's victory, Sasha's in the ring, Carmella attacks with a hit and run and makes her title ambitions pretty clear. 35 for this, which is pretty bad. Anything interesting happening? I mean, that's harsh because it was an actual angle where it was just an attack. Next week, though, we have this one. Jeff Hardy will be taking on King Corbin in a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. Now, will I go with Corbin or will I go with Jeff Hardy? We'll have to find out next week. 57. Should be a good match, though. 57 for the segment rating, by the way. The Miz and John Morrison cut a promo on the New Day. They're frustrated at losing the tag team titles, but they will win them back tonight. Good promo. Really good promo, actually. 65. Morrison was good as well. Miz was really good. Good stuff all around from all of these. Well, I expected better from this. Daniel Bryan defeated Dolph Ziggler in about 23 minutes with a no-lock after interference from Otis, getting a return from earlier. Bryan 79, Dolph 64. Yeah, 57 rated match. It says the colour commentary affected it. That's harsh to me. Low locker room morale again. Fine, whatever. It's then announced that next week in a Money in the Bank qualifying match, it'll be Otis against Dolph, so the two rivals will go at it with the championship opportunity potentially on the line. Will I have Otis in the Money in the Bank match? Well, we will see next week, won't we? It's going to be interesting. Despite the announcement, Daniel Bryan's still out there, and he says, I just wanted this time to discuss something. The Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, this little chicken, this man who, let's be honest, we've all saw his work in the past. We know what a warrior, what a wrestler he is, and he could be perfect for the Intercontinental title. I'm not debating it, but the man that he is right now should be nowhere near it. Whereas me, I mean, I never got my rematch, for the record, all those years ago, those 5 years ago. I never got my rematch after I went out injured. Maybe I should get an Intercontinental title shot. Sami Zayn, watch out, son. 68, good promo from Bryan. Well, this is really good. A Firefly Funhouse segment, 79. Now, this is going to be interesting. Bray Wyatt was brilliant, which is good. 79 is really good, actually. And Bray is mysterious as usual. And they speak about, we beat John Cena. John Cena is done. And now we turn our attentions to the Chosen One. Well, the Chosen One. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what he is talking about. The Chosen One is who he's turning his attention to. Interesting. 79. The New Day cut a promo before their main event matchup where they put the tag team titles on the line against Miz and Morrison for 63. Good stuff all around. And will they retain the titles? No. Miz and Morrison win the titles back for 65. Good stuff. Morrison pinning Big E with the Starship Pain. Xavier Woods was at ringside. He'll be back pretty soon. Kofi Kingston and Woods have no chemistry. What? I might be able to change that. That's wrong. That's just incredibly wrong. But good stuff all around. Really good main event. 65. I think SmackDown's a pretty good show, actually. 60. So that's really good. Morrison was slightly overused. We don't have enough interesting storylines at the moment, but that'll build up. But if you look at it, pretty good. Only the Bayley and Carmella stuff really was a disappointment. I mean, Bryan and Ziggler, I guess, but it's still okay. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We need to figure out what's going on with NXT UK. NXT UK is actually a mess. It needs looking at. The database is totally wrong. I'm going to have to go to I had no announcers. I don't know what's going on. So hopefully things will be okay to get through the first show and then we'll go from there. There's some, like Johnny Saint ain't even here. I don't know where he is, but we'll get him back. It's fine. We'll sort it. We'll start with the first show, though, and hopefully we can have a decent show at least. For some reason, it's on Fridays. I'm going to move to Thursday, so we'll end with SmackDown as well next week. I'm going to try and figure that out. Anyway, we open up with Tyler Bate challenging Jordan Devlin, the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. He says, look, we've done it once. We had a classic. How about we do it again for that belt? It's similar to Roman Reigns, actually. My bad. Okay, that's a little bit Awkward. Anyway, Jordan Devlin comes out and says, no, absolutely not. We haven't got any road agents either. It's really affected us. I'm going to have to really sort this out because it's a joke, to be fair. It's really bad whatever's going on here. But 45, though, for the angle is pretty good. I'll take that. That's okay. First match of the night and 23. Okay. Akid and Joe Coffey don't click. Damn, because that's where we were going. Akid defeated Joe Coffey with a surprise roll-up. It's like 1, 2, 3 kid type thing. 23. Whoosh. Actually, that's not actually that bad. Afterwards, for 7. Wow. The stats in NXT UK are ridiculously low, aren't they? Ridiculously low. Anyway, Joe Coffey, frustrated and angry at the result of the match, destroys Akid, puts him through a table, puts him, let's say powerbomb off the ring apron, Kevin Owens style. 7. Oh my god. 28 for Toni Storm defeating Ginny. This is okay. They don't click though. Oh, so that's brilliant. That's good as well. That's another one. Afterwards, a 30 rated segment as Toni Storm is attacked by Isla Dawn. So that's pretty good, actually. Much better for that. Ilya Dragunov, he wants a shot at Volta. That's all wrong. The authority says he'll think about it, let's say. And then we find out that next week, Ilya Dragunov will take on one of Imperium when he takes on Fabian Eichner. That should be good. Good stuff. 32 then for Trent Seven and Dave Mastiff, announcing that if they win tonight, they will become the newest tag team on the NXT UK roster. So, of course, they win tonight. They defeat Eddie Dennis and Joseph Connors for 43. This is pretty good. Trent really holding it together at 64. He's a big person in this brand, so we really have to use him well. 43. Okay. We don't even get to see how NXT UK was rated. It got 39. Whoosh. Let's focus. Next week then, we've got some big matches planned. We'll run through it. Monday, 4 huge Money in the Bank qualifiers. AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio. Asuka versus Kairi Sane. Randy Orton versus Ricochet. And finally, it is Aleister Black and Angel Garza. So 4 huge matches on Raw. We'll run through them all next week. It should be pretty good. NXT, well, NXT should be good too. We've got some big stuff planned. Nothing announced yet though, so you don't get the sneak peek just yet. NXT UK though does, and as we just saw, it's going to be Ilya Dragunov against Fabian Eichner in the main event next week. It should be a good match. And maybe, just maybe, hint, we might see the NXT UK champion Volta. We'll find out. Smackdown, again, has also Money in the Bank qualifiers. Next week, Jeff Hardy and King Corbin, Otis and Dolph Ziggler, and that big #1 Contenders main event, Roman Reigns versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Make sure you join me for that. If you enjoyed this, the new save, there are teething problems, but we'll fix it and we'll get through it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for next Wednesday's video. There's Football Manager content in between. Until next time, peace.